All right, guys, you ready? Let's listen to Greg Papa. Put your hands in the air. If you're a true player, I like listening to Greg Papa. Okay, hold on. We'll just start here. Let's listen.
The sky's the limit.
Okay, I can't. You're right. I can't do it. Nope. We can't do that audio. Hold on, guys. I tried. That ain't gonna work. The Spurs Media Day. You're right. What can I say? All of it's from the Spurs account. Can we? Oh, gosh, does this sound okay?
When it comes into not just having a
it's just on my left,
season, but the excitement behind the organization with Wemby, how
5-6 weeks, and
I love you guys, but you got to deal.
Want to get to the next step, which is being coached and putting the team together and getting ready for the season. So it's a very exciting time, but it's like that every year. This isn't any different than any other year in that respect.
I think that's a good place to put the subtitles. Okay, this is 23 minutes. I'm speeding it up. I love you, Pop. We speeding this bad boy up. I don't care what the chat says.
Coach, with prospect as unique as Wemby, who we've seen kind of do a bit of everything, can you talk about the opportunity of either kind of scheming around him or the opportunity to develop him and kind of push those skills forward?
Well, certainly we want to watch him develop, but it's the same.
Pop doesn't know. He doesn't know yet. Like, he's been very open in saying that he goes into these situations with players with not like crazy expectations on you're going to be this, you're going to be that. He watches them throughout the preseason, watches them in practice, and then he develops them from there. So I don't think he has an answer for this, but we'll listen.
Same with Devin or Keldon or Zach, everybody else. So we have two questions so far, and both involve Wemby, and I understand that. But there's a team out there. He's no different from anybody else. He's got to develop and improve knowledge of the game and some of his skills, just like every other player. So, fortunately for us, he's very coachable. He's very intelligent, and that's already begun. For
Pop would have never said this in the 90s. Okay, we can tell Pop is getting older. He's a little bit more wise. He was glued to Tim Duncan to the hip. Oh no.
Even from the first day practicing for the summer league, just getting used to a different kind of game. So we'll watch him probably for the next couple of weeks without saying too much of anything to him, just so we understand his idiosyncrasies and the way he plays the game, how his body works, all that sort of thing. Everybody else, we know their game. We know what they do, so we've got to do the same thing with him.
True. I agree. We know what everyone else does.
Coach Bob, this group of veterans in particular has been very vocal about wanting to be here, and you guys have brought in a lot of new veterans. For you, what makes this group so unique?
I don't know really how to answer how unique or not unique. Every year is a little bit different because of additions and subtractions, so we'll figure out that personality as we move forward.
Coach Paco Fuenzo here.
Okay.
Yes, your thoughts on the new training facility, the Victory Capital Performance Center. And
Lord, no, I don't want to hear about this. I might skip it. He's just going to say it's great. Let's see.
Additional spark for them?
Sure. It's an unbelievable building.
Exactly. We're skipping that. Terrible question.
Make it, it's almost like a home. I was thinking about moving in.
Oh, wait. Hey, that's kind of funny because literally when we did our reaction, that's the first thing I said. I was like, this is designed like it's a home. Like it seemed custom built for the Spurs. I don't know. I thought that was really strange, especially the courts and how it was designed. I was like, this seemed like someone's house. Like if someone said that this is Tony Parker's house, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can see it. But yeah, no, still this is boring. Skip it.
A lot of memories from this building are going to be left here. What crosses your mind when you leave this building? Is it like leaving your house?
He don't care.
No, most of the memories, come from wins and losses, and events.
We don't care.
Coach, Devin has made a tremendous recovery post his injury last season. What are you most excited to see? Maybe.
Yeah, this is what we want to hear.
I think, he missed a good amount of time last year, and it really affected him in the sense that he went to work this summer. It was very dedicated. His body is absolutely different than what you remember. He's much stronger. He's much more aggressive and physical. He's more confident. He wants to prove himself. both as a player and as a leader. He's been very vocal during the summer. And
I brought up earlier that Malachi needs to work on finishing at the rim, but I didn't bring up Devin Vassell. He needs to work on finishing at the rim as well, and Blake Wesley. But Blake Wesley has a further, like he has a huge, a bigger gap than Devin Vassell as far as getting better at that.
demanding of his teammates, that sort of thing. So he's already taken some big steps.
Hey, Coach. Can you talk
Good
about
question.
His development last year and kind of what you saw over the summer and what
Zach
you're
Collins,
from this year?
are they afraid to ask it?
Zach's-
They're afraid to ask about Wemby. Pop got him scared because they asked about Wemby twice, and Pop got a little like frustrated, and now they're asking Zach Collins. Come on, you got a Wemby question.
He's a huge improvement and success story. Mainly because being unavailable for 2 years, that's a long time. I mean, you'd all probably be rusty if you didn't do an interview or anything for 2 years, and then all of a sudden you got to do it. It's different when there are people trying to keep you from doing what you want to do. So he had a big uphill battle in that respect, and he won that battle. I can still remember a call I got from Mark Few, his coach at Gonzaga, who just told me I would never be sorry, that he's somebody we should be looking at, that we'd be very happy. And it took time because in the initial stages it was just all rehab. But you saw as the season went on, he became more and more confident. Now he shoots the three with confidence. It's a totally different mindset for him. He's one of our most, I'd say, nasty players. You got to have a little bit of nasty out on the court.
Oh, he said it. He said the thing. He said the thing. He said the thing that we know Pop for. He said it. He said the thing.
He naturally does that because of his competitiveness.
Yeah, he said it.
Take no prisoner sort of attitude, and that's shown all during the summer. So we're very excited about him being on the court and playing a lot of minutes. Yeah,
That was terrible. Who cares?
there's room for everybody to grow. I mean, I got to grow as a coach. So
We know Zach Collins, like, success story. We know all this. We know, we're happy for him.
players don't really reach their limits that early. This is what's called, is he a senior in college this year, or junior? I'm not sure which, but something like that. So he'll continue to improve his knowledge of the game, understanding time and score and all those sorts of things. But when he came, he wasn't a shooter, and now he can shoot the three very well. His emphasis this season will be trying to be a defender, to take pride in trying to stop somebody, because last year on defense as a team, I think we were wanting.
Hi. Sorry.
So he's talking about Keldon. Keldon's defense was terrible. But the funny thing about it is, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. I don't necessarily think that this is a matter of taking pride in defense for Keldon. I think he does. I just think he just isn't great defender, right? He's flat-footed, and he's always been pretty flat-footed. I just don't know how much he can improve in that area. The best you can do about Keldon, or for Keldon, is surround him around other defenders, and he won't be exposed as much. Like, you're gonna have Jeremy Sochan, Wemby on the court with him, Devin Vassell. He'll be fine. Like, he's an average. Like, he's maybe average, possibly slightly below average defender, but more than likely just like average. Keldon said he knows he can be an elite defender. I don't. As long as I've been watching Keldon, I just think that he's flat. Like, he's always just been flat-footed. I don't know. We'll see though. I mean, it's not like Popovich should go into it like, you're not going to be any good. You're not going to be great at defense, so don't take any pride. Obviously, everyone should. I mean, I'm pretty sure he told Bryn Forbes, you take pride in defense. And Bryn Forbes, he was moving. He was moving that small frame around, but he was never a good defender. I don't know. I would even like to see a Spurs staff member speak to your channel. Speak on my channel? That would be cool. We had other Spurs content creators on here, like Noah, Tom Petrini. That was nice. Carolina Teague, she was on here. Did a react of something she posted, and unfortunately I couldn't post it because it got copyright claimed, so I don't know.
Sorry to bring it back to Victor Wembanyama.
By the way, it wasn't her. She didn't copyright claim it. It was something that she posted that had to do with Stephen A. So
That is gonna watch for a couple of weeks. Can you say more about how you plan to use him either on preseason games and during?
Yeah, that is true. Bryn Forbes also moved his small frame on that poor adult star. That was terrible. Screw him.
The championship, he's gonna play a lot, or what do you plan to do with him?
I have no idea.
Pop, with what you said earlier.
We get a Wemby question, and his response is, "I have no idea." Pop, you can't do this, okay? You can't do this. We know. You're the greatest of all time. You're awesome. You're amazing. We love you, Pop. We owe so much. We owe so much. Okay, thank you for those championships. But you can't do this to us. Okay, this is one of the most hyped seasons ever. Victor Wembanyama can take the heat. He can take the fame. He'll be okay. Give us something. I can't believe he just did that. He spent like 10 minutes talking about Zach Collins. And we mentioned Wemby. He's like, he's French. Come on. Come on, bro.
About this team being more than just Victor. Do you think that message is going to be hard to convey with all the attention he's going to get to us than it will be to your team?
Knowing you all, nobody heard me say that.
They did. They did hear you, Pop. That's why they haven't asked you about anything for like 20 minutes.
When do you think you're going to start to get annoyed by the Victor questions?
He is. Yeah, he is. I'm sorry. I need to just play it through. I know. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'll let it play through. The comedic timing was perfect from Pop here. Hold on. Let's go back.
Victor, do you think that message is going to be hard to convey with all the attention he's going to get to us than it will be to your team?
Knowing you all, nobody heard me say that.
When do you think you're going to start to get annoyed by the Victor questions?
I already am.
Yeah. but is there?
It's okay. It's okay.
Is there a sense of preparation for the guys for the whole Wemby media circus, or do you just kind of leave them to their own devices?
That's a good question.
I think a little bit of both. You know, I've talked to players individually and that sort of thing. But I think if we treat it like it's no big deal, and you all are going to do what you do, and fans are going to do what they do, but because I know the players, and because he's got such high character and he's used to this. This isn't the first time that he's gotten attention. I think just handling it organically is better than making decisions ahead of time that we're going to do this and this and this and this and put everybody in boxes. Let's just roll with it and see what it's like. If there are people hanging on the top of the bus, then we got to get them off. You know, that kind of thing. But short of that, we'll be okay.
That's a good approach.
Pop, over here.
That's a good approach. Clan pause too much. I sure do. I do, and I'll keep doing it too.
Just talk about the great.
I'm not getting Kyrie. I'm not getting my channel taken out for y'all.
Hey, there have been times in this building on media day where it was championship or bust, and then last year you said it was about developing these guys until you can pass them on to the next guy. You just wanted to make them pros.
Right.
After the draft of a certain player, does that change the expectations going forward? What would reasonable expectations be for this season?
As you well know, even when we were set to compete for championships, we never talked about wins, losses, playoffs. The only statement I ever made was we want to be the best team we can be by playoff time. So I don't talk about expectations with them. It's pretty inherently obvious.
That just, I don't know. That just, I have a memory of this in the back of my head, and I can't remember. I guess he said it so often. Is it weird that you guys remember? I remember Pop saying that all the time, or maybe it was one specific. I don't remember, but at some point, yeah, during those championship runs, he did say that. But I remember it. But that's weird. Yeah, he just wants to be the best team since playoff for playoff time. Maybe it was something that a lot of the players would say in interviews too, and they just resonated. It reflected what Pop would say.
That we want to win. These guys wouldn't be at this level if they weren't winners, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't think I need to beat them over the head with we're going to have this goal and this goal and this goal and this goal, like the books talk about. Let's just go play our ass off. Let's compete, obey the basketball gods, respect and love each other, and we'll see where we go. But this might be an answer you like better. Development is great, and all those guys needed it, and they've made some big jumps. Even though there weren't a ton of wins, even in the losses, there were some great moments and some real competitiveness on the part of a lot of those guys. And of course, when you add a player with Victor's abilities, your prospects look better. But
yeah, he said a bad word.
With development, I think one of the important factors to enhance that development is winning. So winning is as important this year as learning was in the past. So they got to continue to learn, but adding more wins, I think, is appropriate, mandatory, helpful.
Is it fair to assume?
Okay, so Pop feels like it's time to win. Okay, he feels like it's time to win. I've been very open on that too. I don't necessarily think it's time to tank. But I do think that it'll be beneficial for us, you know, in the long run if the Spurs weren't to make the playoffs. I'm not expecting us to make the playoffs, but it'd be cool if we did. But at the same time, we got the Toronto pick, so we're set there. More than likely that will convey. It's protected 1 through 8, I think, so that should convey. And then we have the Atlanta Hawks. Hopefully they suck by 2025, and then we would get their lottery pick. So regardless, I think the Spurs are in a good place, like really, really, really good place. So yeah, I think I guess I understand that, where it's like it's time to just win now. It's fine. It's fine. Now, I disagree with every single Spurs fan a year ago saying it's time to win now. I have no idea what you were talking about.
That winning wasn't really that important last year.
Coach. Coach.
I'm the funny guy, not you.
Coach, and just complimenting on last year's. Over here.
Yes, sir.
Again, last year's media day, you said don't go crazy in Vegas. Should we this year?
Don't go crazy in Vegas. I don't know when I said that. I don't
When
know
did
why
you
I
say
said it.
that?
I never know why I say anything. So I can't. Oh, that's what he means. I don't talk about betting. No such thing in my
Oh, he did say that. Okay, yeah.
What do you see as the?
He's saying don't bet on the Spurs. Dude, you did not phrase that. Obviously, he wouldn't know what the heck you're talking about.
Over by done.
He was like, don't go crazy in Vegas. What, Primo? Did I say something about Primo when he went crazy in Vegas? What are we talking about?
This the next development step for Jeremy Sochan. Like, what do you and how he fits into the puzzle you're putting together.
Oh, Raptors pick is 1 through 6 protected. Thank you.
If you or anyone in here can help me with that, I'd be appreciative, because he can play 1 through 4, and depending on circumstances and who we're playing, injuries, that sort of thing, I can see him going to the 5 position and us playing small. He's that kind of, he's like a utility infielder in baseball. They still have that? Maybe they don't have that anymore. But the sky's the limit for him. He's so competitive. He handles the ball. He's one of our best passers. What is he, 6'8", something like that? So he could find people.
He said, I'm betting over on the Spurs this year. They got him slated to win 28.5 games. Speaking of betting, okay, it's funny that you guys brought that up, okay? It's really funny that you brought that up. And I feel like you did it on purpose, which maybe you didn't. All right, so we are sponsored. We are sponsored by BetUS. Big shout out to them for sponsoring this video. It means the world to me. So if you guys are interested in betting at all you have to do, you can hit the link in the description. You will receive 125% bonus. If you don't know what that means, it means if you put in like $100, you would get like $225 back, or $225 to bet. So yeah, if you guys are interested, please do, but do not do it if you have issues with gambling. Do it like super, like just be true to yourself, okay? Do it responsibly. So there's that. And also never listen to me, because I'm terrible at these. I do them a few times, but when it comes to the Spurs, do not listen to me, because I'm going to pick them to win every single time. So anyways, if you guys are interested, link in the description. Shout out to them for sponsoring the video. Means the world to me. And yeah, we are on the come up, me boys. But yeah, so head on over there. All you have to do, put in your account, and then you can go to basketball. But it's not a lot popping off yet. I mean, it's just like preseason getting ready to start. But hey, just keep it on notice, okay? Keep it on notice. We're sponsored for the season, hopefully. So, but yeah. Anyways, okay. Enough of that. All right, let's continue. Pop, what were you saying?
People. He's really going to be important in creating pace for us, that up-tempo style that we did so much better last year. So he's going to be very, very fun to watch.
I guess semi-related. How do you feel about the group of point guards you have outside of Trey Jones? Is that a group you kind of have to find out about?
Yeah, training camp's going to be really important for us as coaches to see how we think it fits. Is Wemby going to be a 5? Is he going to be a 4? Is he going to be a 3? Is he going to play alongside Zach? You going to put him in a post? Not? Is he a perimeter player? What is he? Does he fit best with out there? What should the rotations be? A lot of really cool questions.
He just alluded that Wemby could potentially be a 3. I've been saying it. I don't think Wemby would be a 5, but hey, you do small ball, which is funny since he's 7'3", but you do 5 small ball, you probably put him at 5 and be cool.
We'll get the answer. Yes.
Do you think have you changed in the way you coach a team and player through the years, through the time?
Change the way I coach?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I understand the question. I mean, some things will be exactly the same as they've been for 20-some years, because those are the basics, and you don't want to skip those steps. other things change depending on the player, figuring out what buttons to push, tweaks in the offense, additions to the defense or the offense. There are always some changes, but the way I develop relationships with the players will be the same.
Bob, to your left, because of Victor, because of the new facility, have you sensed any new or heightened sense of excitement with some of the veteran guys coming back into the season, maybe more so than
Wemby at 3 will be insane.
Well, I
it
would think
would.
so. I mean, you look around and you see somebody like that. That person has the ability to make your team more successful. So of course, they're humans. They see that. But we've got other guys coming in that haven't been here before, and a couple of guys that came at the end of last season, Julian and Sandro, for instance, that we're all excited about because they've done such a good job. So it'll be a interesting camp and a lot deeper team. When I look down the bench, there are a whole lot more possibilities at both ends of the floors that they can deal with.
Coach, what excites you about the internal growth of this team as they, sort of learn how to play with each other a little bit more from last year to this year? Is there anything that you've seen that, kind of gets you going as a coach?
I don't need a whole lot to get me going, but if I had to think of something for the thesis that you're writing about what excites me, I would say just their attitude, coming in, their aggressiveness, the way they've worked all summer. It might sound trite, but they have been physical. They've demanded of each other. They've been consistent, and that attitude has really been infectious for everybody.
Morning, coach.
Okay.
Robin Grumman, Agence France Presse. How much
Pub
did
just
Victor
say he don't
Wembanyama
need Blue
adapt
Chew.
to his new team and environment the past few weeks?
Brilliantly.
Coach, you talked about how critical training camp is going to be for you guys as coaches, the different buttons trying to press and trying to get people out of different positions. Compared to years in the past where you've had a lot of the same core coming back, where does this training camp for you as coaches now in year 27, 28, does it provide a new challenge for you that you haven't seen in
year 27, 28
I think it's different in the sense that there are more pieces that we have to put together to figure out what the whole is going to be. As you said, we always had a core, and we would fit everyone else around that, whether they were new or
good point.
1 or 2 year players. Now we have a lot of young players, but we're not exactly sure at the moment how they're going to fit, what the rotations should be, who should start or come off the bench. So that makes it a little bit different than in the past.
Who should start or who come off the bench? I'm telling you guys, it's going to either be Keldon or Trey Jones who comes off the bench. I do not see Jeremy Sochan coming off the bench. I just don't see it. With how this team is set up, his connection with Wemby, I don't know. Yeah, like our bread and butter is going to be defense. So I just don't see him coming off the bench, especially when you have Sidi Sissoko, who's more than likely going to be backing him up. I don't know. Both of them come off the bench just seems a little weird to me. I don't know. No way Sochan comes off the bench. Yeah, I don't see Sochan coming off the bench. I can see Keldon or Trey Jones. Trey Jones coming off the bench would be really interesting because that would move Sochan to that point guard position, which would be insane.
Coach, back here in the back. When a player like Wemby enters the NBA, and I'm sure you saw it with Tim.
Are you reading that off a card?
Off of my phone a little bit. The city quickly embraces them. What do you think a player like Wemby's going to do for the culture of the city overall, whether it's on the court or off?
Because he has great maturity for his age.
I hate when people say maturity that way.
He's highly intelligent. He's just a good man. So he hasn't had, nor will he have, any problem.
I'm lost with you guys in the USA. Thank Lord I have South Park. South Park's great. I have no idea what you mean by that, though.
Problem blending in and gaining the respect of his teammates, or understanding our community and what responsibilities he has there. So I don't spend any moment whatsoever worrying about how he's going to blend in. I don't really have any comments about who other people sign.
Wait, you said when it comes to clutch moments or when a great defender is on you, I would trust Trey Jones over Sochan. Why? What would be your reason for choosing? I don't understand why. Based off of what? I don't know. That's a weird. I mean, if you said you would trust like Fasale over Sochan, all right, I'm with you on that one. I mean, we can at least go back to the play-in series where he was like the only one to show up. But why Trey Jones? Trey Jones is more careful with the ball, in my opinion. I I don't know. That might be a bias there, my boy. Hold on. I mean, he is careful with the ball, but let me see. Because Jeremy Sochan, he's good with the ball too. Am I tripping? Or maybe it's my bias speaking. Let's see. Okay, he handled the ball quite often last season. He averaged 1.7 turnovers per game. Trey Jones averaged 1.6 turnovers per game. But I'm sure the usage rates. So let's see. Trey Jones usage rate. Where's Muse? I want to put it on Muse. All right, usage rate is 17.8%. That says in his career. Usage rate last season was 19.3. Usage rate 19.8. Yeah, that's a bias, my boy. Yeah, that's a bias. No, Jeremy Sochan's really good with the ball. I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't think there's really a good reason to trust Trey Jones over Sochan.
I'm sure many of us have had second chances in life.
Pop, you mentioned Keldon's expectations defensively this season. What did you see from him last year being thrust into such a large offensive role, particularly after DeJounte was traded? He kind of had to take a big leap.
Well, you're right, and he did.
His
concentration was offense, and it served him well. He really improved his skills and his confidence in what he can do. So he's not just a driver anymore. In the very beginning, I would call him a bull in a china shop, and that's been pretty much put to bed because he's understood now what's needed at different moments in a game, and he looks at who's guarding him and who he can take advantage of and what's needed. So this year he's intent on becoming more of an all-around player.
That's good.
Pop up.
Yes.
I'm not sure if my math is right on this, but
This
if
might be the
Wembanyama
last
starts this year, that probably means that somebody who started last year won't. Have you had any discussion with some of those guys about possibly coming off the bench, and do you think?
Good question.
We'll handle it well.
I've had no such discussions with anyone. And if Manu Ginobili can come off the bench, anybody can, and I don't want to hear it.
It's crazy. It's like we don't even have to watch these interviews. He says so many things that we say all the time. Like, that was my main argument when people were saying, how dare you say Keldon Johnson come off the bench? I was like, Manu? Hello? Manu Ginobili? Like, one of the greatest, my favorite player of all time, one of the greatest Spurs of all time, he came off the bench? Maybe the greatest sixth man of all time came off the bench? What?
All right, take care. See you down the road.
Cool. Great. All right. Woo, we went through that whole video. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great stuff, actually, even. True, bro. Exactly. Like, what are people talking about?